Still at the Karen Hal event, I had to make another video. Karen Hal is the author of The Empire of AI. So if you're new here, my name is Janet. I talk about AI, tech, and culture. Let's get into it. The first is this idea of empire. She developed this theoretical idea of empire within the AI context. But it's only when she actually met with people on the ground that this became real. What was interesting to her, shocking and surprising, was that it was the people that she was interviewing who were using those words to describe what was happening to them. So she gave the example of speaking to people on the ground in Kenya who were saying, this is like colonialism. She gave a very moving example of a Venezuelan refugee in Colombia who had chronic health issues, and she had no choice but to do the sort of AI work because it was the only work that would fit around her circumstances. And these companies had taken a predatory approach because they recognized that there was this vulnerable group of people who are in need of employment and money. Second interesting point for me was when she was describing some of the sources that she'd spoken to at OpenAI. These are people that she knew, they're smart, they're really driven, they're really ambitious. And it's this idea of how easily they were drawn into this ideological vortex when they were at OpenAI. And for some of them, it was only when they came out that they were like, oh my God, what's happened there? It's interesting that you have these very clever, intelligent people who are still able to be sucked in to the hype without taking a step back to ask the bigger questions. The third takeaway for me was the importance of resources and just how much you need to be able to tell stories like this. She was at MIT, Tech Review, she was well-funded, she had fellowships, she had support from the Pulitzer. So there was a lot of money that enabled her to tell these stories because telling these stories is expensive. You're going to countries and having conversations with people, and she recognized as well that they could have been earning money, instead they were taking the time to speak with her. And so she felt a really huge sense of responsibility to make sure that these stories are told well. It was just very refreshing to hear her talking about how much support was needed for her to produce this really incredible body of work.